Last of Us Part 2 was looking to be an amazing game with a story that is well written and gameplay that seems to keep evolving. The first game was a shock to the world when it was released in 2013 from the studio that gave us a lighthearted series like Uncharted and now giving us a dark experience like The Last of Us. Naughty Dog was truly amazing when it came to storytelling and probably one of the greatest developers in the world at that time. In November of 2013, the PS4 was released, and God, everybody ate that console up. Even today, the console is still regarded as probably the best of the three. Soon after, in February 2014, the DLC for The Last of Us Left Behind was released. Taking care of an injured Joel as well as showing her relationship with Riley, we played as Ellie in this part of the game. Months after the DLC released, Last of Us was going to be remastered on PS4, locking in at 60 frames per second with slightly better graphics. I bring you this timeline to show you that The Last of Us was released at the end of the generation, at the end of the PS3's life cycle, and I feel like Last of Us Part 2 is now going down the same path as the first game did. Last of Us 1 did release with some glitches, including the infamous save data glitch. Myself and many other players around the world, when starting the game for the first time, a lot of save data actually didn't save the way it was supposed to. The autosave feature was a bit buggy. Myself, I was also included in this glitch. Unfortunately, I'd put in like about 2 hours in the game, and then randomly when an update came out, I had to start all over again. I do remember that, and the game did ship with a bunch of glitches as well. It didn't take away from the game's quality, as the story and the gameplay were amazing, but the fact is it did come with some glitches. And I fear that The Last of Us Part 2, since it's also being released at the end of the PS4's console generation and most likely will be remastered for the PlayStation 5 or whatever the hell they're gonna call that system, I think that they should completely ignore the PS4 and just keep developing and keep polishing, so when the game is ready it can be released on PS5. I remember watching a documentary, and Neil Druckmann said in that documentary that the crunch time was very hard. They had to pretty much rush everything out the door. The Last of Us 1 did actually have a delay on its release date, and they didn't want to have another one, so they just put everything together. And I know that's how crunches usually work in the video game industry, but I just feel like, why put the game on PS4 when it will probably be a better game on PS5, such as The Last of Us 1 did? Last of Us 1 was actually way better on PlayStation 4. The 60 frames really helped out The Last of Us on the PS4. Like, it's like night and day. You know, there are a bunch of remasters out there that a lot of people can't really tell the difference between the old game and the new game and just consider it like a simple port. However, there's a lot of work obviously went into The Last of Us 1. When remastering it over to the PS4, the difference was night and day. The 60 frames made the controls feel a lot more fluent and made the gameplay a bit better, and the extra graphics did help out a lot. So it's my personal opinion that I feel that they should just take as much time as possible. I know you guys want to play the game as soon as possible, myself included, but I feel releasing at the end of the PS4's life cycle just to remaster it so it can be playable on the PlayStation 5 is a mistake. I know from a company standpoint, from a business standpoint, it's actually amazing for a company to be able to actually sell you the game twice, whether it be a remaster or more money for like a collector's edition or something. Them selling you the game twice is amazing for them. But I feel that I don't want to keep buying the same game over and over and over again. I'd rather buy the best version of a game rather than buy the original and have a remaster come out later. And again, it seems like they're going the same exact route, because Last of Us Part 2 is also being released at the end of a generation. The PS5 will probably be here around 2019 or 2020 according to PlayStation's timelines or the time that they've been releasing consoles. So I wouldn't mind waiting until 2020 as a launch game for the PS5. Business standpoint, bringing that back up again, it will be so amazing if Last of Us Part 2 was a PlayStation 5 launch game, like that shit will have consoles flowing off the shelves. It will be so hard to find a copy of Last of Us Part 2 unless you like ordered it or something, because consoles will be getting sold like crazy. So I feel this will also help out the PlayStation 5. You know, when that console comes out, I want some top tier games to play rather than little games of new series that I don't really know about. Yeah, I think that The Last of Us Part 2 should be on PS5, whether it be a launch title. I just don't want to buy the same game twice. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think that Last of Us Part 2 should be on PS4 and PS5? Do you think that it should just stay on PS4 or just stay on PS5 exclusive to those consoles? I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys for listening. Remember to subscribe for more Last of Us content. Later, guys.